Hello, hello, hello.
What's up?
Ricardo of Coughing Genius Media here, and today we are here with Paula Camacho in studio. We're here to, just have a quick conversation with her and get some insight into her life as an artist. Um, First, I'd like to start off by asking, who is Paula Camacho?
Paula Camacho is a painter, a ceramicist, nature installation artist, jaguar artist, uh, amateur muralist, soul in a flesh suit. That sums it up.
Okay. So you are a painter and a ceramicist.
Yes.
Yes. How did you get into into some ceramicist? Because most people I know are stick only to mainly painting, but what caught your attention when it came to ceramics?
Well, I took one class in college, that's really it. And I really fell in love with the medium and how flexible it could be and how far I could push it. And I really wanted to see how far I could push it um, within the context of like making a functional object. And the functional object I chose were like smoking pipes and bubblers and things like that. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like it's been a lot of fun. It's a different way of thinking, a different way of creating versus when I'm painting because I don't have to like imbue it with meaning necessarily. It's really just like a really intense exercise of like stretching my creativity and just seeing like how far I can take that and how far I can push the medium and like how ambitious I could get with my forms and if it could hold up, you know? So
I see around your neck you have some. Is that did you create those? Too?
yeah, I
Okay.
did. I did.
Okay.
Very simple designs for now, but
Okay. So you really just like to explore your creativity. You'd
I
say.
do.
Yeah. So, as far as creativity goes, to go into the next topic, what is art to you?
Art, to me, is something I have to do. Like I have to do it. If I don't do it, if I spend too much time not doing it, I am no longer as okay as I was when I was doing it. It's definitely a very deep process for me. You know, it's I would consider it a spiritual practice of sorts in my experience, at least. You know, because I've just learned so much about myself through painting all these things and through like pushing myself and being really ambitious and like thinking about why I'm painting the particular imagery that I'm painting. And it's just very revealing. It's very revealing. It reveals me to myself.
Definitely understand because as an artist myself, I mean I don't paint, not yet anyway, but I understand that it can be very therapeutic. Um, just just as a form of a way to just escape a little bit. I believe the first time we met, I told you some of your paintings made me want to jump into them because I wanted to live in a different world. So I can definitely see the importance of it to you. And your paintings are very detailed also. So I can tell you definitely take your time and put a lot into them. And yeah, we'll get into those later.
Yeah.
I feel like we definitely need to. Next question. What is your definition of an artist?
Somebody that creates.
Somebody that creates just pure and simple.
Somebody that just creates. Pure and simple, you know?
No matter the
I-
medium.
No matter the medium, no matter the education level, you know, an artist is somebody who's channeling something, either consciously or unconsciously, and we're just bringing it out, manifesting it into this physical realm, you know, expression. But I don't know how, like, I wouldn't know the ratio of like how much of it is coming from something higher,
Yeah.
and how much of it is coming from like ourselves, or if it's just one and the same. Like, I don't know. That's a mysterious world right there.
So do you think people are born to be artists, or do you think people are taught to be artists?
It's a good question. I feel like some people have that inclination already. I feel like I was one of those people that just had that inclination.
Yeah.
Other people find it later on. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Because I find it interesting that some people, a lot of people say they're not creative. A lot of people say they're not creative, but you'll see them maybe involved with something like fashion design or maybe just maybe ceramics even. You know, people don't think of that as being an artist sometimes.
Yeah.
I think some people think of it as just creating something like,
Yeah.
which is it's really weird. I've had people tell me they're not an artist, but they're over here creating like amazing clothing line brands and stuff like that. Even photographers themselves, photographers will say they're not artists, but
Oh.
you may take a photo in a way that the perspective itself gives a different look into the norm. You know what I'm saying? With that said, we're going to go into the next question. How would you explain your style?
I guess I would describe it as figurative. I mean, some people describe figurative as just as like human bodies, but other people describe figurative as like painting like real life things that you can identify. So definitely not abstract, but like I guess like realism with like a hint of surrealism. Very nature, very like avoiding the human figure. Even though sometimes I do hide it in there. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying too much now.
Not yet, not yet. They'll definitely find out later. One of your paintings that really stood out to me was a painting with a house made of cactus. And inside this house, of course, there was leaves also inside this house, but all the way in the background, there's a nice landscape, I believe made of sand and blue sky. And in the blue sky, there's like a red dot. And I've always been fascinated about why you put that red dot there. Because I see it often in most of your paintings. Is there something deeper to the red dot? Or?
So, what I have been able to understand from the red dot and why I even include it in my paintings, for most of them, if not all of them, don't feel complete until I put that celestial object in the sky. And over time, it's felt like the smaller it gets in the sky, the heavier it feels, and the more powerful it feels in the composition. And it always has to be in the center. And it's just, in a way, it feels like the thing that ties together the universe that I'm creating with all these places that I'm creating, and like ties together, yeah, like all these themes, like the one unchanging element in all of these different compositions, the one thing that gets to stay. And in a sense, that's a little bit reflective of like the soul, you know?
Yeah.
Like some people think we reincarnate. I'm not entirely sure, but that would be like the one constant thing that doesn't change. That's like the same within everybody, you know? Because like I believe from some experiences that I've had, I mean, I believe that deep down inside, at our very core essence, we are just all one and the same, of the same essence. You know, like a drop in the ocean. We're indistinguishable from one another. Looking at each other, or like all getting into that body of water. You know, like once you touch that body of water and merge back into the source of it, then you're no longer distinguishable from the source or from anybody else who has merged into the source. So that's kind of how I feel about the soul, and then about like the red dot kind of representing that one unchanging element, even though everything else around it is changing. Yeah.
So to go into that, like, how would you say, like, what is your approach to creating? Like, is it like do you need a trigger, or do you have a dream? Do you see something? Do you see a trend? Or do you just go with the flow, or maybe you just put the brush to the canvas and just let whatever happens?
In a sense, I do go with the flow. I work in my sketchbook a lot. Like that's where it kind of all starts. I'll do like small little thumbnails, and just trying to not like use my logical mind too much when I'm doing those little sketches. That way I'm not like overthinking it, and I don't get in my own way. And then I'm able to pump out a lot of little like draft ideas and then that is how I'm able to like select one that I like, that I would want to go through with. Although some of them, like this one, for example, that's in progress, I don't think I ever made an initial like draft for it. Like I knew what I wanted to do already, sort of, and I made the structure for it, and now I'm just like implementing the details. But yeah, like the draft, the little thumbnail sketches are super rough in the beginning. No, like barely any detail, just like the general forms and shapes and everything. Like just block everything in, and then like I'll go into the canvas and form the structure. And then the hard part is filling it in with all the details and all the little nuances, and that's the difficult part. But like as far as like a trigger, no, because that would, for me, that sounds a lot like relying on motivation kind of thing.
Yeah.
And can't do that.
Yeah.
But there is always like this nagging feeling, like this, like your intuition is like pulling you to do something, to like manifest something, and I can't put my rational mind to that and try to like explain to myself why. Like I just gotta do it and not question it, and then later I'll figure it out, you know. And that's how it usually happens.
Okay. I like that. To be honest, I feel like that's how it should be. I don't think you should wait for that inspiration. I think you should just always be trying to create something. You know, I wouldn't say force it, but just attempt to create something. You know, even if you end up having like 10 sketches in a day, that means nothing, but at least you attempted.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. They say that the life of an artist is a very difficult life. They say that it's almost like being a rebel. You kind of go into it expecting to fail in a way. Well, not expecting to fail, but it's almost like you have to accept the possibility that you might fail. It's a very risky approach. It's a very demanding approach. A lot of people get discouraged by the intensity of everything. How would you say? What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going? Dealing with some of the difficulties of being an artist.
Well, I guess I have to go into what the difficulties kind of are. So, first of all, the biggest difficulty of all is you being your own worst critic. And you being the most intense to yourself. And just like other people will look at your work and be like, "Oh, that's so great," but inside you're like, "Nah, like that's not my best work. Like it could be better. I could be doing it faster. Like I could be pumping out all these ideas, whatever. Like I wish." That's for me the biggest thing. Like I just want to work faster. Another struggle would be like just the business aspect of it, like, and feeling comfortable asking for money.
Yeah.
You know, I still feel really weird about that. Yeah. There's a crazy dissonance that it's hard to put my finger on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think something that really helps is the whole community aspect of being in this studio with multiple people, like seeing other people's processes and seeing like their own disposition towards their career. And it helps me to kind of like reframe how I view my own process, the business aspect and the creation aspect. And it also just helps keep me accountable and keeps me busy. You know, when there's people in here, I want to be busy. I want to be working. And when I'm alone, like when I had my own studio a year ago, in the back of my garage, like I didn't have anybody sitting around working around me. Like I didn't have that the communal creative energy that exists in a communal art space like this.
Kind of flows.
And so it's so much easier to get distracted. It's so much easier to like, you know, like my mind is going elsewhere. I'm not really working. I can like cut myself some slack. But no, like when I'm here, I want to get to it. Like I want to get to it, and that's it. As far as like being your own worst critic, I'm not sure that's ever gonna change. But as long as like you do it in like a constructive way and not like a beating yourself up kind of way, then like it's good. It's fine. Like it's necessary even.
So, aside from you being your own critic, I know for sure for me, choosing the path of creativity, for me, when it came to family, was not exactly um, welcomed. Um, how would you say your family feel about the path that you've taken towards being an artist?
Well, I'm actually really lucky that my family has always been pretty supportive. You know, they've never tried to stop me. You know, I have photos of me as a little toddler with pens and pencils and like little markers in my hand. I don't remember them ever saying anything negative or trying to stop me at all. You know, like they definitely just let me do it. And they'd be like, "Oh, that's really nice. That's really cool." You know, like they would keep my drawings, which I thought was so cute.
Yeah.
And they still have some of them from when I was super little.
Yeah.
So and even like teachers, peers, everybody, I feel like throughout my life I've had truly the support that I've needed, and that's a really big thing. That's a really big thing. Like that, and that's a blessing. That's a gift.
That's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely for some people. I'm happy that you're out of that loop. Because for some people it is a struggle to find that support system. So how would you say, aside from family and friends, how would you say you found like your support system in the art community, like in the art industry, like networking or referrals, friends told friends, or how were you able to build that connection to find that support?
Outside of friends and family. The communal art creation space, the communal studio is a big one.
Yeah,
definitely a big one. And I'm surrounded by a lot of people that believe in me. Fellow artists that are way better than me that believe in me, and they've also referred me to other people to work for other artists, which those experiences in themselves have also really helped me and have felt very like supportive and very conducive to my growth. And just other opportunities have popped up here and there as a result of being like in this community, in this space, and then being like pulled into different various circles here and there and meeting different people within the artists community,
So most people say for certain artists to create their best work, some of them tend to be in a dark place. I'm not saying that to you. But there is the aspect of because most people know artist understands artist, and even with the smiles and the laughter, there's always a question that comes to my mind, and that question is, how's your mental health?
Oh, I would say my mental health's pretty well. Honestly. Outside of doing art, I do a lot of things for my mental health to keep it up. I work out a lot. I try various forms of mindfulness exercises. Being alone really helps. Being outside really helps in the sun. Waking up early enough to see the sunrise has been really nice. It's just an effort, like it's maintenance. People are not. I mean, maybe some people have like chemical imbalances. Yes, like that's totally valid. Like there's extra work to be done for that.
Definitely.
But I mean, if there's not anything like physically, chemically wrong, there's always something that you can do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's nothing you can do if you have like a. Yeah.
It's a case by case.
Yeah, it's a very
case by case.
Very case by case. Yeah, but if there's no sort of disorder, like you gotta put in that work to maintain it so that you don't fall into that, you know? Because I have my grandma, for example, like she's just life things have happened and have affected her so much to the point where like depression has not been like absent at any point for decades, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like you can't let yourself fall down there because you could.
Yeah, it's maintenance.
It's maintenance, and it's confronting things that you don't like about yourself, that you don't like about life. You know, it's really just like doing the hard work.
Yeah.
And until it's not hard anymore, until you like clear things out and like keep it clear, like keep clearing it out and maintain your soul, your mind, your vessel just clear of things, so that there's more energy that you can put towards the things that you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I would say my mental health is pretty good.
That's good.
It's pretty good, and I've been blessed with a healthy brain as well.
Yeah.
So I haven't inherited anything.
That you.
And if it's latent, well, I know I'm doing the work to keep it at bay.
Yeah. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. I'm really happy to hear that. That lets me know that you have a pretty good balance of work and work-life balance. You know, that's a good old saying. I met you during your own personal showcase at Showfields.
Yeah.
It was very. I found it was amazing. I'm just gonna say that it was amazing. I had an opportunity to have a quick conversation with you and to ask about the things that you had going on, how you're doing and etc. If you were to describe your career so far, what would you say? Like, do you feel like you're on the right path?
I definitely feel like I'm on the right path. Although I feel like I'm very, very early in the path. I feel like I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But it's like the path, I can actually see it now versus like a year ago.
Yeah.
You know, like before a year ago, like I felt very lost. And I felt very, I wasn't sure like what it is that I wanted exactly, even though art was always like a constant in my life, even though I went to art school. But I was still very confused, and like different elements in my life kind of taking my energy and were getting in my way, and then I was getting in my own way. But I'm at the point where so a little bit of context. Before that, I was living in Orlando, and yeah, about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, I moved back here, and I finally had the opportunity to really explore the city on my own terms.
Yeah.
Because I finally had a car and money, as opposed to when I was in high school, I didn't have the freedoms that I have now, But like after all those years, now I'm here. Now I'm able to explore. I'm able to meet a bunch of different people and like really, really like see the artist community for what it is.
Yeah.
And it just keeps growing and growing in my awareness.
Yeah.
The more people that I meet, the more I learn, the more things I participate in. I lost sight of the question.
It's basically, how's your career going so far?
Oh yes,
okay. On the
okay.
right path.
Yes, so due to all of that stuff, I definitely feel like I've found the path, and I know now from all the things that I've worked in and all the people that I've worked with, I know what it is that I want to do, and I know how it is that I want to make money. Because before, like I would think about the gallery life and the selling the paintings kind of life, and it felt a little bit like the thought of it made me feel like, I don't want to be a sellout, and I don't want to like sell my children, even though I'm gonna like. What's the point? Like that's kind of the point.
Can't hang on forever.
I know I can't. I can't keep clinging on to my kids like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like mural painting is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like I've helped out a few people doing their murals, and I've done my own mural, but I've literally done one, and it was like in collaboration with another girl. So I'm trying to get into that world, because not only do I get paid to paint, but also like I have the chance to paint what I want to paint, every now and then if it's not like a super commercial thing, and it's out there in public, so anybody can enjoy it, type shit, unless it's like in someone's house or something like that. But I feel like that's the path that I'm trying to go down, definitely.
So, what is a recent accomplishment that you're like really proud of? Like, is it the mural painting, or is there anything else that really stands out to you? That's like, oh my God, like this is crazy.
To be honest, the most recent and craziest thing has just been my change in mindset. Like the way that I used to think about myself was way too small.
Yeah.
Like way too small, and I didn't realize it. Like I thought way too little, and a very limiting way of thinking about my capabilities.
Yeah.
and about what I could achieve, what I could accomplish, what I can do, and assisting people in their murals, as well as like doing my Jaguar tattoo day job, has really helped me understand that like I can really do anything. I can render anything. I can paint anything. Anything you want me to do, I can do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's a very liberating feeling, and it just hit me kind of recently.
Yeah.
Honestly, like after a whole year of doing all these things, like it just hit me recently. Like, yeah, I can do anything. Because I find myself telling customers that all the time when they want to get like a tattoo. Yeah, I can do anything. Show me whatever photo you have. Like, it could be a portrait. It could be some crazy design. Like, whatever it is, I can do it, you know, verbatim. And it's really amazing. It's really changed the way that I think about myself, like as an artist, what I can do.
Yeah.
I used to pigeonhole myself into like, no, I can only do this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't do it. Yeah.
That's interesting. I love the confidence. I can do anything. I have seen a couple of your henna tattoos. I'm like, wow, she's kind of creating almost anything from just two colors, if not one color. It's like only black, right?
Yeah, it's only black.
Yeah, and that's amazing. I think I saw you create a skull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Many things. Many different things.
Definitely. So I definitely like the confidence. You can do anything. So my last question will be, in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
I see myself managing my own independent like tattoo business with other people working under me.
Okay.
And so that'll just be like a thing that I work on real quick.
Yeah.
To set it up, and then hire people, and then it just kind of does itself.
Yeah.
And that'll be a stream of income while I can get to be in the studio painting or making ceramics or doing murals, which is like, I really want to be spending a lot of time doing murals. Like, I really, really want to put my heart and soul out in public like that on walls. Yeah.
So in 5 years, you are Paula Camacho, famous mural artist, famous tattoo shop owner, and with your own personal studios. It was a two-part question.
Okay.
So what steps do you think you'll have to take to reach that goal?
So the first thing I gotta do that I've been thinking about a lot, I'm procrastinating, to be honest with you, but I just gotta go out and do it, is just start doing my own tattoo thing in South Beach, like street vending, you know?
Yeah.
For a while, and see how that goes, and just see how that goes, and keep learning, keep understanding what it is I gotta do, and then just take those steps, and you know, not procrastinate on the things that my intuition is telling me that I gotta do.
Yeah.
And in terms of like the whole muralist thing, I have friends that know how to help. Like, they know a lot more than I do, so I really just have to go and ask them how they do it, and ask them for their to see their templates of how they like, how do I say this, like they'll create like these documents where they have their pieces, or they'll have like a digitally sketched up idea on the wall that they want to paint, and this is how they do like cold calls, more or less. And so they'll just like pitch their idea to a place, even though they've never spoken to these people before, or they might have, and it's either a yes or a no, and you know, you never know. Like, you just got to shoot your shot, you know. So I feel like that's a route I gotta take. I gotta like just start shooting my shot. I gotta learn how to do these things, set it up, and then just start shooting my shot, and just forget about all the rejections, because I've already gotten rejected so many times for so many things that I've tried to do, and it hurts, it's heavy. Yeah. But at the same time, like, what else can I do but keep trying? Yeah. You know, it's discouraging, but I gotta keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think the path that you've chosen as an artist is definitely full of rejections. Just like, I think it's just like every business where you're trying to grow yourself. There's a lot of rejections, and it comes with calluses. You know, you got to build that up and just keep moving forward. The idea is not to give up when you feel discouraged. I definitely feel like you've been doing an amazing job so far.
Thank
It's great to hear that you switched that mindset that you had before, because I would definitely not be here if you didn't, because we probably wouldn't have done the show.
It's true.
And, like I said, I really enjoy your art. I really believe in you. I think you're definitely going to become that famous tattoo shop owner,
That'd be cool.
famous muralist with her own studio, and I'm definitely going to be there to record the next interview. Like, hey, look, you made it.
That'd be cool.
Trust me, I believe in it 1,000%. Because sometimes when I hear people talk, I kind of like, I wouldn't say have premonitions, but I have visions. And when people say things to me, if it draws up a picture, because when you say you had your own tattoo shop, I picture that. When you say you were doing murals, I picture that. When you say you were in the studio, I actually picture you in the studio. So when I hear things like that and I see things like that, it's hard for me not to believe it, you know. And I believe that putting that energy into the air also might make it possible.
Yeah.
Because just knowing that you have someone that says, yeah, make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like even this, we made it happen. You know, it took some time. You know, we figured it out, and now I get to interview you.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you. I'm really grateful that you've given me this opportunity to interview you. That you've given me the opportunity to be in your studio to see more of your work. Even right now, I'm checking out some that I want to live in still. But I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me and share your story. I believe I will definitely reach out more in the future. I definitely want to see when you will have your next shows. I definitely want to be there for those. And I am praying that all your dreams come true. And,
Thank you.
And I'm praying that I'll get interviews as they come true.
Yeah.
And you know, I will continue to grow and continue to pursue your vision, and hope everything works out for you. With that said, this is
Paula Camacho.
and I am Ricardo Laventure of Coughing Genius Media, and this is the first official interview. And thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Bye.